All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the All Markets Live webinar. I'm Bruce. I'll be your host, and we're going to go over the order flow and analysis of the live markets using Bookmap. We're going to go over the order flow and the key here is to understand the participants' behavior in the auction process here to give you higher probability outcomes within your trading. And we can do this for all markets, all time frames, etc. Let's a quick bio here. I'm the lead educator here, 15 years of trading in a variety of markets, and the order flow specialist here. We have many streamers all day long in here. I'm in here Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. But I do want to show you the Learning Center and our calendar so that maybe you don't like what I'm covering. But we have volume profile traders. We have, pattern traders. We have, stocks traders, crypto traders, looking at a variety of different things. So you should be able to find something in there that works for you. Where to go is here. Go to the bookmap.com learning-center. You can find it from just going to Bookmap here. Then the More button, and then go to Learning Center. And then there's a quick guide here, 1, 2, 3. Click on number 3 to come down and see all the events in here. So we just had Pirate Traders here, Charles. He does an excellent job. I recommend it highly. I'm next here, as you can see. And then we have Paco for Brazilian markets. This is in Portuguese. And then we have stocks. We have a interesting webinar, Pro Trader webinar every third Monday with Fausto Puglisi from the Cyber Trading University. He'll go for an hour here. We have options with Doug and the Algo Boys that will round it out until the close. All right, so every day you can see all these different events in here. You can click on them, you can add them to your calendar, etc. All right, okay, let's go through the disclosures. And then we'll jump in here. You can reach out to me on our Bookmap Discord, Bruce at Bookmap, or my Twitter handle at FlowOrder. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Let's take a look at these markets, and we have some nice momentum here to the upside. And I would look for this to continue. Okay, so looking for 45.50 up here. Now, before we jump in here, though, and get all excited about all this, let's put some structure on this market, and let's look at the higher time frame and why we think this is starting to unfold. All right, so it's pretty simple stuff. All right, we're going to look at the daily here on the left-hand side, the hourly in the middle, and on the 15-minute on the right-hand side. All right, let's look at the daily. Well, you can see very nice uptrend here, and we continued to break the swings up here last week, right? And we closed above. Now we had a down, it was a down day on Friday, but it's, and you see the candle wick up here on this daily, but look at today. I mean, we're above it, and we're still seeing some buying here. So maybe it can come up to about this 45.50 area here, and that being maybe a good place to look for additional insight. So yeah, that's what we see so far. We can go over the other the counter trend, and that would be we'd see some selling really come in here. We'll go through that in more detail in a bit. But you can see that so far in the daily, we tested below Friday, but we're right back in the range here. Okay, so we look for the continuation here until we see something different. Now, let's look at the hourly. What is it telling us? Now, this is really basic stuff in here. We're talking about basically just two elements here. looking at these candlestick charts and looking at these higher time frames. We're basically just looking at price action and volume is, you know, not even really attached to it here. It's down here in a subchart. So basically we're looking at price action here, and we're looking at periodic data in here. You know, it's on some sort of in some sort of aggregation, and it's bar data. So we cannot see really what's going on within some of these areas. But what we can see here on the hourly, and let me come in here. Got a little easier to read. There we go. All right, so let's just look at this right here. Okay, so yeah, here we have another target here for these buyers to come up and try to get into 45, 50 or so, somewhere in there. It looks like 48.5 on the hourly, right? So that's what we'd continue to look for until we see something different, right? And we'll look for that something different, and the participants in Bookmap and the order flow is going to tell us. All right, so what do we see on the 15-minute chart? Well, yeah, we still see that swing up here. Looks pretty good. And we've kind of come up and retested. Now we're getting a little more insight here on the 15-minute chart. We can see this reversal pattern in here. This is going to be like a head and shoulders pattern in Bookmap. But we can see that the move into where the selling came in, right? So we're probably going to see some profit taking up here, just about where the swing high is just this morning. And we need to see more buyers come in though, to come up and test and swing above this 48.5 here. Okay, so little additional insight here when the sellers came in here on this 15-minute chart. We don't really see that here on the hourly nor on the daily. So this is something to watch here. Now on the downside, on this move to the downside though, look at the market structure. And we see this again, again, again. All right, here is the market structure. In fact, let me open up my pen tool and can outline the structure. All right, so on the 15-minute chart, here's the structure we're talking about here. And look, if we just take that across here, it bounced off of it and it continued on up, right? So yeah, we're looking for it to test the high of this structure here, that's what we're looking for. And we can see that we're already not quite getting it. We're seeing some selling coming in here on this wick on this 15-minute chart. We will come back in here and let's take a look at Bookmap and see what's going on now. Okay, well, here comes that selling, right? Now, we're going to take the same ideas in here in terms of structure. And in fact, I'm going to make it really simple in here. We're going to take volume dots off. We're going to take the heat map off. We're just going to look at best bid and offer that creates structure. All right, now I have a few lines in here, diagonal lines that we just put in that kind of outline some structure. But we're going to look at also these areas in here. So here is some structure. And here's our breakout. Now this breakout coincides with the open here. Okay, strong volume to the upside. It created a new structure. We are now bouncing off the top of that structure because it broke out here, right? So anyway, that's what we see right now. Let's see if we can. Now we're gonna turn on the volume dots. Okay, with the transactions within this best bid and offer, or within the structure on the best bid and offer. That's going to give us a lot of insight. Okay, so your footprint charts kind of do that, but they kind of don't. And that's another edge here in Bookmap, because we can see precisely, there is no aggregated data in here. So it's very precise on where that volume is transacting within structure. Right, so here come the bulls. They're going to try to get back up to 46.5 and then maybe our 48.5 or our 50 level here. All right, now how are they doing so far? It's not bad, but it's not so good either. Okay, here we can see the volume dots in here. We can look at the bars down here. Now this is volume delta. It's buy minus sell. All right, and we're looking for more buyers here to push this higher. And we're starting to see some sellers though in here and in here, okay, especially at the bottom of the range here. Right, so it doesn't, how are they doing it? Well, it's not giving us too much information really. We're looking for it. We're going to continue on looking for the move higher here, but we've got to have more buyers here. And then they can at least test up here to this 46.5. And then we've got to see a lot more to be able to break that structure. So right now it's chopping around within the structure. All right, so that much we know. Now let's turn on the heat map though and get additional insight, the condition of the order flow. All right, well, here's resistance up here, or supply. Now, are the buyers interested in it? Well, here they go. Looks like they're interested. They're starting to bid up a little bit, but look where they're bidding though. It's down here. So this doesn't really give us too much insight. It's good to see them bid up. I would like to see them bid up here, and I would like to see a lot more bid up here. And then if we can get the reaction to that strong bid as being more aggressive buyers, which would be green dots, then we have a higher probability of testing up to the high here and breaking it. Now, we'd also like to see on the opposite side here, this supply pull its liquidity from the market. Okay, so let's see if we get that here. Okay, so now this doesn't look like it's high probability to me. We don't have all the pieces here. So right now, we have a little bit of buying in here, but it's not so great. We have a little bit on the bid, but they're down here. And we have supply up here, and they're not really pulling from the order book. All right, so we'd still look for this to continue higher here, but this is not something that is just telling us and giving us that insight that price is going to go up into these areas here. All right, so we'll continue to watch and look. Now, let me get back to some questions in here. Good morning, Rob. And let's see over in Discord as well. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Jack. Slow down. Trader. Stan. Oh, really nice to see you guys. Excellent. Anyway, guys, if you want to come over and join our Discord community, really nice community over here. You're going to learn a lot. In fact, we just launched a new thing called Bookmap Academy. I'm going to show you that, how you can get that. And back to bookmap.com. I know we wanted to add it into the... No, I don't think it's here in the toolbar yet. Okay, that's fine. It's bookmap.com/academy. Okay, go through this. You can learn how to join, what this is all about. Basically, we're offering a plan here for you to become a more professional trader. The guys in our Discord, they're a part of the plan here, or part of the program here. Right, so it starts off with being invited to the Bookmap Junior Academy, you'll document your content and your trading activity, you can read through it, what you get here, what you don't, and then Bookmap Academy. Once you've made it through Junior Academy, you can get to the Bookmap Academy, and you will get Bookmap for free, continuing to do the same work that you're doing. All right, and then you can become a coach, you can become a streamer. So we're really offering a nice plan here for you to become a much more professional trader. If you're interested, sign in here in the form and apply now, and you're good to go. All right. Let's jump back in here and see what's going on. Yeah, see how we just kind of avoid the chop here? And until we see something that really gives us something to sink our teeth into in the behavior of the traders in here, then we have something, right? So right now we don't really have too much, and we're waiting, we're watching. and we're just chopping around basically. We're kind of in a weird area here by looking at the higher time frame after the the close on Friday here. You can see we are back in the range though, right? So still kind of looking for, and we see that down here it bounced off of this, bounced off this 15 a minute and then moved up back up here. So we would look for this kind of test up into here. So we are finding buyers here, right? So I would still continue to look for that basically. Okay, but we got to be prepared for both sides here. And it is the behavior in here of the traders that's going to give us insight to what may happen next. Right, so let's look at this one, for example, here. Now, it's not too great here, but here's like a double bottom here of this little range. Let's just zoom in a little bit closer. Yeah, actually, I take that back. It looked like it was telling us something, but it really isn't telling us too much. We see some selling in here and here. Okay, if we didn't have these sellers in here and we had these buyers in here instead, it would look pretty good for at least a retest back to the top of the range, and then the potential for the breakout of the range. Okay, a little bidding on up here at 44. That looks pretty good. Reaction is buyers. Yeah, just going to stay away from it. I'm still looking for it to spike up above into these areas here. I think there's enough momentum here. It looks like it, but what we don't like here in this kind of behavior is we don't see them bid up in these areas in here, and we don't see that really like strong confirmation in here by the buyers. Then the possibility of trading right back down here is higher, much higher. So you see the exhaustion here, for example. Now, do the sellers come in though? No, not really. In fact, we're getting more buyers. So yeah, still looking for this to hit this 46.5, 47, 48, and then maybe up to even to 50 here. Okay, but yeah, it's like I said, it's nothing that I think is worthy of risk at the moment here. I do like to see this kind of algo behavior kind of chasing up underneath. Okay, but I don't see them really pulling anything here at 46.5. Hey, any questions? Layla, how to make it simple? Yeah, sure. So, I mean, really, to be honest, it is quite simple. And I know that doesn't sound right, but this is actually in concept. This is simpler than if you're looking at your candlestick charts with a few indicators or moving averages or whatever. In fact, the transparency here is, this is raw data and it's giving you everything. There's a lack of transparency or a lot of opacity with a candlestick chart. It looks like it's clear, but it's just not telling you that much. Right? So you don't know, for example, where does the volume trade within these bars? You don't know. Where's the liquidity in these bars? You have no clue. You're just looking at price action, and you're making financial decisions based off of that type of behavior. That's a challenge. I mean, if you're really good at your trade management and you've done your back testing, then yeah, it's possible here. But here in Bookmap, what we're looking at is very simply 3 elements here. In fact, let me cancel all the drawings here, and let's just go through it again. Right, so we take the heat map off, we take the volume dots off. This is pure price action. Okay, so is this clear what this is, Layla? I mean, it's just very, very simple here. It's best bid and offer streaming. There is no time frame here. This is showing you all the price action. Okay, your bar data is not going to do that. You're not going to be able to see, like, this is kind of a, there's a hit here, it pulled back, another hit lower here, kind of pulled back a little bit, and then one more hit lower here. And then you can see that it rejected down here. We're going to see some buyers that will come in probably around in here. And then they're going to pull that back up and test up to here or in here, in this, or maybe the high here. And you can see that it just went back and forth and until it got back up here. But yeah, now we want to see if there's exhaustion here. So it's trying to test higher, and are there buyers? Is there a supply and demand imbalance? Your bar data is not going to show that. You're just going to be looking at a candlestick here. In fact, this is a little too low. Let's look at 5 minutes. Okay, so your candlestick here, right? Open, high, low, close, and that's it. That's all you see. I'm sorry. Catch that. Say that again. All right. So, how can you possibly read this here? How can you possibly see that this is potentially trap volume down here, and see how it retested into here, precisely where it broke out from this little range here? It's just not in the candlesticks. And we're just talking one element right now. So let's add the second one and look at this price action here, volume. Okay, and very simply, just add the volume dots here. Okay, so this is that potential trapped volume here. Okay, and then you can see the retest here. Right, so we would look for a stop run back up above this level here. Okay, where people that maybe sold in here are going to be placing their stops somewhere up in this area here, right? So we look for a stop run up into that area. Okay, and I don't see a stop run yet. It has not, but we have more sellers coming in now. We kind of avoided this here. We talked about it was potentially exhaustion here, and we do see sellers come in now. Okay, so anyway, candlesticks, not seeing all the price action. Candlesticks, not being able to see precisely where the volume is trading. So on this wick here, you just don't know that this is the volume that traded on the sell side here. So it's very simple data. Okay, now, so we're just talking about price structure here, or price action that creates the structure, and then we're looking at the volume within that structure. That's it. There's two elements here, right? And if we take the third element here, is the heat map. Now the heat map is very simple. It is just showing you liquidity, right? So we'll come back into it and put the pieces together, but let me just zoom in here. And let's take our candlestick off here. It just gets in the way. So everything to the right of the vertical white line here, this is the current market. Okay? This is our current best bid and offer, last traded volume, price ladder, and the COB column stands for current order book. This is your depth of market or your level 2 or stocks. And what you see, these numerical values here, this represents liquidity. These are just simply, and they're nothing more than this, they're just limit sell orders above the market, and they're limit buy orders down below. That's all it is. Okay, but it's showing you the intent to trade. Look how this guy just came in here and just skewed the whole order book, right? Came in with 330 contracts. Now, see what Bookmap did? Not only do you see it in the current order book or your DOM, you see precisely when they came in, and now you have context. When they came in, and then what was the reaction by the aggressors? So sometimes you see this come in very high liquidity, and you'll see the sellers take them on, and they'll say that's great. You want to be a buyer here? I will sell to you, and the transaction will take place. Here, though, it was the opposite. It came in with high liquidity, and buyers actually, it kind of repelled price, right? That was the reaction. Right, so and I would look for, we look for this. We look for the other side of the range here. If there's still buying appetite here, then it makes sense that they'll reach this liquidity up here at 45. And now this is dynamic. It's always shifting and always changing. See how this guy was in here for a very short period and then pulled his liquidity here. Okay, so now that changed now. That whole dynamic changed. Okay, so and you know, now what kind of insight do we have? Well, it's kind of nebulous here. You know, we still see a little bit of buying up here, but it's nothing great. You know, maybe we'll get our test into 45, maybe we won't. Okay, but this gave us a little bit of insight here when it first popped into the book. Right now, this could be more like a spoof. It's very short term, high liquidity, and it never traded either. So, you know, what did it do? Well, it basically showed a lot of demand, and we saw that the reaction to a lot of demand here was aggressive buyers. Okay, very, very simple things to read here. Okay, let's go through it. Let's go through another example. Now, this would be a little bit higher time frame, right? Let me cancel or remove all drawings, and then we'll look at what's happening with this within this range here. By range, I mean this price action here. So, you know, where are the buyers and sellers within this range in here? What does the structure look like? And what does the auction look like? And they're bidding down in here, in fact, at 45.5 and 45. Right. So so let's you know, take a look here. Now, for example, we can go through, and this is what I think is where the rubber will really meet the road here. Start to go through your scenarios in here. Okay, here sellers came in, right? They dropped price. Hold on a minute. Try that again. Okay. So here's our range. And here's where sellers came in and dropped price. And now they failed to drop it all the way back down to the low here. So that gives us some insight here. Right? Now, these sellers in here, they may have to be buyers up here. Right? So if we get enough buyers in here, then we look for a stop run to the upside, okay, above this level here at 46. And we look for a price to come up into our 49, 48, 49, maybe 50, okay, that we've been talking about earlier. So this kind of insight here is, you're talking about, like I said, very simple data in here, but it's giving you a lot more insight to where traders are, where they might be trapped, where they might be compelled to buy. And that's what we're talking about. Okay, you want to take a look at Bitcoin? Sure. Okay, I have Bitcoin here, and I have it $10 per tick right now. But you can see the look at same analysis in here. Okay, look at the buyers; they move price higher. More buyers move price higher. Come back down. Look where these buyers came in, and look where the sellers came in. See that? And they were able to move it right back down and retest where these buyers came in. And what happened down here? Well, we see what happened. More buyers came back in again. So this is bullish. Okay, now we're just looking at, you know, since 7 a.m., 3.5 hours worth of data. But more buyers, I don't see a lot of sellers. More buyers, I don't see a lot of sellers. Okay, what does the book look like also? So, and we broke this high here. And we kind of failed to break it here, though. So we're kind of going sideways in here at the moment. Okay, but we would look for more buyers in here. The bid looks good. Look at the bid. Okay, see how the bid is supporting price here. All right, so now then I would look for, if we can get buyers up here at this 250 level, a green dot, then we should come back up and test 300. Okay, just to test this side of the range, and that these sellers in here will have to be buyers back up in here. Okay, and just up to here though, you know, it would just be a range bound trade basically. All right, by understanding the auction in here and the transactions. Okay, we'll come back and revisit this. I mean, we may find more sellers come in and just drop it, and they'll come back down into test this area down here, okay, or maybe even lower here, or even lower, right? We don't know right now, but we're watching, okay? And we're going through what that would look like if that did happen. Well, we'd get no buyers here, which is the case up here. This is exhaustion. And we look for more sellers in here and to hit into this and through it. So we're looking for that scenario would be big red dots in here, and then for them to retest these areas down below. Okay. Now the opposite was what we just covered first, was we get our buyers up in here, and then we get a stop run or liquidations up to 300. Okay, top of the range. Right, so I'm kind of leaning for the liquidations to the 300 level here, but to get that upside down here, or these traders upside down, basically you really got to see the buyers in here at 250. They've got to come in pretty hard. If we get that, then yeah, it is more likely that we can get our test back up here. Yeah, you can get your bigger picture understanding of this. You can add more data here and look at 12, 24 hours, etc. All right, so here we go. Now, that's not really the kind of buying we're looking for. We want to see big green dots in here lifting this market. Yeah, we can add more data in here, or what we can do too, and this is free and open to the public. Let me show you this. If you want to look at higher time frame stuff, okay, go to bookmap.com and click on the more button and Bookmap Web right here. Okay, this is HTML based. And you can zoom out to a month. And let's take a look. Well, you can see this nice move back in June. And then right now, we're kind of is struggling to make made a slightly higher high up here. But then, you can see it come right back down to the bottom of this range here on this monthly amount of data. Now, this data from over here in the left edge to the right edge is 1 month. All right, let's zoom in a little bit closer, see what's going on. Okay, so we can look at maybe several days here. Yeah, we see big transaction down here. At the moment, this is not looking too good for Bitcoin. See how it failed to make a higher high up here, and we don't see buyers up here? That doesn't look too good on this higher time frame. It doesn't look good at all, in fact. We see these bigger red dots selling at lower lows here, and it failed to make a higher high in here. So if in the bigger time frame, if you look for more sellers starting to come in here, yeah, I'd look for them to trade back down to the bottom of this range here. So around 30,050 or 30,000 the figure. Right, that's just higher time frame stuff, but that's what I see right now. Trader Carlson, when I say sellers failed to drive price to the lows, you're just referring to? Yeah, we're looking at the well, first off, it didn't go to the lows, right? And then secondly, basically what happens is you'll see like this is a little different. This is more like a trap here. like we were talking about earlier. But if you see sellers come in, and yet they just can't seem to move it lower here, it's a failure. Basically, it failed to go below this. It rejected below the swing here so far, right? So that's where we look for if it rejects down here. These are very simple, strategies that this would be rejection at the bottom of the range. You look for it to trade back into the range and maybe to the other side of the range, basically. And that's what we covered. Back up into 300 here. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the ES and see what's unfolded here. So we didn't miss anything. It's been really choppy. And we stayed away from a lot of this stuff in here. We went through our scenarios in here, and we're just not seeing it. In fact, let's see here. Yeah, I'm actually seeing quite a bit more selling at the bottoms of the range here, right? So now let's just watch this here. So we're looking for maybe a pullback exhaustion, which is right here, in fact. And now we're going to get a retest here. And if we get exhaustion here again and we see sellers start to come in and curl back into this like they are. Okay, now let's take a look at this liquidity here at 43.5. It's pretty fickle. They pulled. We're getting our sellers. Okay, sellers. All right, so now let's see if we can get the sellers back down to 42.5 and then our break. Okay, and then we'd be looking for, let's just put in maybe a measured move in here. Okay, so and why measured moves work is it's just pretty simple stuff. You just look for an equal move or at least half of that move to the other side. Okay, and now we're going to line it up though with liquidity and other stuff. See how basically we're looking for that move here. Or I'm sorry, we saw our exhaustion here. We're looking for a move here and buyers came in. Okay, now this is where we can get the trap volume. Do we see sellers, see the buyers in here? All right, so now we're looking for our red dots in here, right here, 43.25. And it's just not enough. Now the order book's not really helping us out either. Okay, I would love to see them lower their offers from our red dots. Yeah, it still just doesn't look that good. Here's why. The liquidity up here, there's no real imbalance in here. In fact, there might be more of an imbalance on the bid. You can see them coming in here, see the blue areas in here. So it's kind of telling us like, yeah, we're not really looking for that move now. We're not looking for that break right now, back down into maybe 40. Okay, we read it in the structure. We read it in the volume in here and in here, but we didn't see it here. Okay, so when we really zoomed in and we took a look at this in here, we didn't really see it. We're just going to we're going to stay away from it. All right, so I covered the larger time frame for you. Yeah, Lucas, one of the things here, like, about the analysis in here, the more objective you are with understanding the participant's behavior, the better it is. Okay, like you don't get wrapped up in it emotionally, and you just like, okay, well, they traded here, and we're looking for these scenarios to unfold. And so far in these scenarios to unfold, we're looking for it, and we just didn't get the behavior we're looking for. Okay, so just we don't see an opportunity. And when we do see that opportunity, it a lot of times it's pretty clear. It kind of hits you over the head. Layla, you want to take a look again here at big red dot here in Bitcoin? Yeah, well, I mean, here's, you know, you can kind of see it in here again, like, you know, on the higher time frame here. Big red dot here. Look how it broke structure here and a little bit of buy volume. Here's our retest, and there's just a little bit of selling here. Okay, understand? If there's not a whole lot of selling down here, and look at the swing here. Okay, price came down to here, into this liquidity down here at 30,000. Okay, this is doing some funky things. It came back down into here, 30,000. It failed to get there, and in fact, we don't see much selling at all. If you look for buyers to come in back on the other side here, and look for them to come back up to the tops of these ranges. Okay, the first one being up here, basically, okay, or even here is the most conservative. Okay, right where it dropped from. See how it went back and forth and then dropped. Look for a retest back up into those areas. Now, if you see that strong volume and the book supports this idea, you can look for the move to this swing or up into this swing, or even a breakout from that area. Okay, but this is your rejection here. Again, it couldn't even make a lower low, and we don't see any selling down here. Okay, in this time frame, and we're doing the same thing here in the ES. Like, look at this one here. Okay, we were looking for sellers down here, right? Sellers looking pretty good, looking for the drop. Instead, we're getting buyers here. It wasn't trap volume. Okay, in fact, look at here. I don't see sellers here. Now I'm starting to see buyers here. Okay, and look at the book supporting it here. It's looking better now. It's starting to look better. If we get enough, just looking for maybe a bit more in here on the buy side, and then looking for our move into 46 and 47, etc. I still like this kind of idea to the figure here at 40, 45.50. Okay, see the book and balance here? I don't see sellers. Okay, so I'm looking for buyers here. And I'm looking for them to trade up into these areas here. One of the things to look for on choppy days is to look for the traps. Okay, so it's on choppy days, there's no kind of directional move. So what you're going to be looking for is more where traders are compelled or forced to trade. And that's where you get a lot of trapped volume and then stop runs to the other side. Right, compared to like maybe a trending day. You know, the buyers in an uptrend, they'll still be in it the entire time. Maybe they'll get shaken out here and there on some areas, but you just look for it to continue, right? So look at this. This is getting interesting. So this guy actually pulled here, and maybe he might have even flipped to the other side here. Okay, we don't know that, but we know that this liquidity pulled, and we know that liquidity came in on the offer up here, and they're still coming in. Okay, but we're finding buying appetite trading into these areas here. So it is starting to break out now. Okay, it's starting to move higher. Now, I don't like the way that this is breaking out at all. I'm still kind of looking for it. I'm looking for that buying to trade up into here. And well, we got our stop run. We got a bit of a stop run here already. It was this move in here was the stop run above the swing here. And now, so yeah, maybe we can see that. Maybe we can see a failure here. Here's why. Okay, we have a stop run, right? Now, I'm just going to try to break it down really simply here. So what we look for in the move up is not this liquidity here, nor here, or here, nor here. We're looking for them to be up here and actually to pull that liquidity. This liquidity here, these are limit sell orders, and they're getting filled. And this guy up here not getting filled. It looks like it's the same guy. got filled in here, added more up here. See how we think it's the same person, because the moment they pull that liquidity, they add it to another level. Pull that liquidity, add it to another level. So we're starting to really get into the nitty-gritty of the auction here and start to understand potentially individual bigger players here. Now here's our move, right? But I still don't really like the move. This is what we're looking for, but I still don't really like it here now, because there's a lot of traders in here. We got our stop run. We got even a bigger stop run here. But these larger players here are getting filled on the offer in these areas here. Okay, so they're basically trying to absorb that buying pressure, and they couldn't absorb it. Okay, but now watch here, and watch the sellers bring it right back down to here, right back down to 45. So we got our stop runs, okay, up into 47, 47 and a half. And then we know that a lot of traders getting stopped out. And we also know that a lot of traders in here were on the offer and getting filled, right? And then we're looking for that potential move back into the range due to this price action in here, or auction action, I should say. Auction activity. Okay? And it's already trading at 45. Okay? So again, and now it's not, let's be objective about it and just go through it. We saw a skew in the order book here. We saw our buyers. We're looking for the move higher. And then we didn't quite like it, because looking at this high liquidity in here, high liquidity, we're looking for our stop runs. We did get our stop runs. Okay? And then, but are we getting new buyers in here, or are they pulling on the offer, allowing price to freely go up? And maybe they're supporting on the bid. And that's not happening. Okay? On the bid, they're down here, 43, 42. We're just reading the participants in the auction. And now here's a guy at 45. And let's see. So by reading this activity in here, it gives us some insight that, well, there's a potential for the move back into the range here, basically. That this is a stop run above it and a move back down into it. Okay, now we read the double bottom or triple bottom down here. And we said, here we had our sellers, here we didn't. Looking for our buyers. Okay, we're looking for our buyers, top of the range. Okay, and that did unfold. And then this kind of, made the picture more complex. Okay, so we were looking for this to unfold. It did, but this in here is telling us, something else now. Okay, so let's see this battle unfold again. Look at high liquidity coming in here now at 46. Do we see buyers take them on? No, they pulled. That allows for the buyers to come in. They're going to pull that. Okay, let me get back to questions here. Where am I? Find where I'm supposed to be. Okay, now I got it. Okay. Okay, switch to the W picture. Not sure what you mean. The weekly? Layla? Okay. I think I covered it for you. Looks like I did. Or it looks like Comrade offered some help here. Okay, so well, like I said, there is no weekly time frame here, or whatever. We can put 1 week's worth of order flow within the chart here, within this range in here, or 1 month, up to 1 month. So if I put in 1 week, this is what it looks like here. Okay, so you can see this is like a failed breakout, and then look at the sellers trying to get these guys going the wrong way. And this is a really strong move back in June. No question about it. Really strong. But you can see since then it's just been really sideways in here. Okay, so in fact they're hitting the bid down here, as you can see. Okay, on this weekly chart. Layla, I would highly recommend that you go to our learning center. I'll put the link into the chat for you, and then go and watch. Well, there's a few different things. First off, the Getting Started course will cover lots of features in Bookmap, how to use the various features and read them. But the Market Mechanics course, click here, and then you'll see the basic market mechanics in here, this course, and it will go through some, it's just fundamental stuff. And I really recommend anyone who hasn't seen it to take a look here. The reason being is that what you're going to start to understand here, let me just show you just some simple illustrations that things like this, like what makes price move, transactions on the bid, on the offer, into liquidity here, contracts in here. This is how the market moves. Okay, and then this is all extrapolated to higher time frames, and I can go through it again and again and again. Like this move here, look at this in the ES. See the sellers come in and move this now. Okay, we talked about this already. In fact, here's our stop run. Here's our sellers below it. Let's see if we can get the sellers to try to hit back down to the low here at 42 3/4. Okay. And then this would be, well, this is stop runs, but this in here would be trap volume. Actually, we do see a stop run here too. All right, so let's just zoom in here and let's go through the microstructure. Okay, now to be honest, microstructure means sub-second. All right, so don't be fooled by that. But we'll talk about just much smaller time frame structures in here, and what exactly is happening. Well, look here. Right, so here's a bid, here's buyers in here, here's a little bit of support underneath. We're getting buyers, so they should trade up to here, okay, to 46. Right, maybe to 47 now if we zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so let's read it in here. Look at the buying and the selling in here. There's a little bit more buying up here. Here they go, right? So we're still looking for 47 here. Okay, now what about the bid? Well, I don't see a whole lot of support down here. So if sellers can come in, if we don't see more buyers up here, and we see sellers in here at 46 or lower, they can move the market like this, just like this. Okay, now if they can do that and we don't get buyers again, then we look for them to trade back down into 44.5, right? And then anyone that bought up here is going to be a seller down here. These are the same ideas. Okay, so here we have some selling again, selling. Let's just read this. Selling, and it's failing to move the market. Okay, now there's some buying. This is one tick wide, this market right now. Well, it's almost always one tick wide in the ES. Okay, there's a few ticks in this range in here. Okay, there's some exhaustion there. Now, do we get sellers here hitting the bid? Then I'm looking for 45. Okay, let's see. Let's still see it. This could be trap volume in here. Yeah, no, I don't like that idea now. And I'm not getting a whole lot on the bid in here. It's all about the aggressor right now. And this liquidity up here at 47. Okay, so anyway, we're reading this very, very small auction in here. Okay, and really it's this high liquidity in here that's kind of bullying the whole book right now. And there's some down here at 45 as well. Okay, there's some exhaustion. I see exhaustion here also on the sell side in here. Okay, if I see some sellers come in here and hit this though, we have the potential for that move. Okay, see the sellers are hitting it here. Not, I want to see them hit here. Okay, there we go. There's a little bit. Okay, sellers, let's see if you can trap these guys and let's see if you can swing it down to 45. Go. Now hit it harder. We're looking for more red dots in here to drive this market lower. Take all of this liquidity, this 80 contracts here and this 108 here, trade all through all of it here and then into 45. And there's 130 down there. And there's our move. All right? Okay, and that was it. Just looking for that. Now, this concept in here, let's just zoom out. Bigger picture. Same ideas. It really is. Okay, same ideas. Here, look at all of this buying in here. Okay, and they fail to move it higher. Look for the sellers to come in. I would love to see them come in here at right around where it is right now. Okay, and then hit this hard. Then they can trade down to 43 and 42. And you know, I mentioned this. I really like actually mentioning or saying this. You know, don't take my word for it. Go. This is just a starting point for you to go and study this, right? And understand how these markets work, and then start to look for and back test higher probability setups. Okay, and then put some risk management around it as well. So we're looking for that move lower. Hey, we got down to 44. That was it. Look at down here. A little bit of selling, not too much. Yeah, there's some selling. And it's just moved right back up. And now what about, how does this selling compare to this buying in here? Looks pretty equal. All right, so to me, this just looks more range bound than anything right now. on this time frame here. Okay, so we're talking about a handful of minutes. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's get a bigger picture here. All right, well, we traded up into this high liquidity here. We saw that unfold, and we talked about that scenario. And then right now, boy, it looks pretty horrible. I mean, the one thing I do like is this selling in here, but they've been tested up here at 45.5. Right, so this whole range in here, we're just back in the range basically. You can just take this here and just extend it across. Okay, so Layla, let me put this into the. Okay, so you're still on this big red dot at 30,420. Okay, hold on a minute. Uh, 30,020. This one. No. Well, I'm not really sure which one you're talking about, but I do see this in here, and that's a pretty strong move by the sellers back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, so, and I don't see a lot of buying in here right now either. Okay, so now if we do get our green dots back up into here, look out. You know, they can stream right back up into here very easily. Okay, but anyway. I guess this is the one you're talking about. Yeah. All right. Well, then, you know, we can look for a pullback into that area and all of that volume, and then see if there's more buyers back up above it, or lack of buyers and sellers come right back in and drive it back down. Okay, so look for that, right? Let's zoom in here. Now this dot's going to change. Is based off of VWAP. Okay, so as we zoom in and we pull it apart, we can see exactly what unfolded in here. And then this is why, see here, you can look for pullbacks to test these sellers in here. And then here it is right here. Okay, this is around 300, right? And that's kind of still where we are, looks like. Yeah. Okay, so see how these sellers remain in control, okay, until buyers can get back up above it. All right. So this whole move is in control of sellers. In fact, we can zoom in here, and you can see where the selling came in. It really came in up here, okay, which makes sense, right? There's a structure up here as well. It broke that structure on selling pressure. See the same things again, right? Okay, and then we just drew this up here. Sellers in here, but it was broken. Get buyers back up above, and they are. So okay, so let's suppose you're looking for a break of the range. Well, what is that going to look like here? Okay, well, we're looking for our green dots up here. We're looking for this bid to support it here at a higher level, and we want to see these guys at 47. They don't have to, but we're looking for them to pull and maybe add to a higher level. That will give us some good insight. Now, there will be variations of this. Maybe we come up here and we don't get anything on the bid, but we just get strong buying. They come right into it and mow right through 47 on up to 49 and 50. Okay, or another one is maybe yeah, we see that they completely pull here, and you get a book flip basically from offer to bid, and then those aggressors come in and pull that market up. Okay, or maybe we get another variation of it here. This happens a lot too. Maybe they'll trade into this. Like it looks like that scenario is the most likely here. They're going to trade into it. They got to take these guys on. We might get some support on the bid. We're getting a little bit right now. They take these guys on, but there's still enough buying pressure to take it up higher. And then we look for maybe the potential stop run and the move. Now, see, look at the exhaustion here and selling. Okay, so it couldn't make it here. So now, you know, watch it come back down into the bottom of the range and ranges in here. You can look for your mean reversion trades here. Maybe you're a volume profile guy or woman, and you're looking for the move back just down to the high volume node, covering some, maybe get some of the outside edge here as well. Okay, here's our exhaustion. Okay, we were looking for that one of these scenarios to unfold here. Well, none of them unfolded here. There was exhaustion here, and our sellers came in here and then moved it back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, so it's already through that high volume node. Okay, so if you were looking for that, you know, and this is the way you trade, then on this time frame in here, you'd probably take some profit. And that's just some trade management. But you're looking for a mean reversion trade, or you know, back into the range here, then yeah, why not? Why not take some profit here? This is what you're looking for. Joe, not enough range to consolidate to trade. Yeah, I mean the futures are pretty good. I mean you can, you know, this is only like what, you know, 3 points or so. That's not actually so bad. I mean, we've seen a lot worse than that. But if you can look for something higher probability, why not? You know, if you know, it's starting to, you know, align here. I mean, it depends. If you're looking at a higher time frame, and let's do that. Okay, so instead of looking at this small range in here that we've been talking about, and looking for, you know, the potential breakout, etc., looking again here for it, and it just completely failed. Now it still may do it, right? We still may find buyers back up here. If we do, we'll look for that scenario, more likely scenario, them to pull, you know, add on the bid, get our green dots, and get our move to the upside. Okay, we've seen this so many times. It looks like it's going to happen, and then you can even say like cup and handle, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Fails, comes back up, and then does what you're looking for. And then that these sellers in here will be the buyers up in here. Okay, it happens a lot, especially on days kind of like today. We didn't have high expectations at all. We were back in the range here on that higher time frame on the daily here, and then looking for the potential move up into our 50. And then we looked at the hourly, and it's like, yeah, it still looks pretty good, 48.5 or so. And then we looked at the 15-minute chart, and we're like, not looking as good. just because of these sellers coming in here driving that market lower. And we're starting to find some wicks up in here. This whole session, we found nothing but wicks up here, basically. Okay, on the 15-minute chart here. So it's been very back and forth. All right, see how we can align that though, and we can look at this in here within Bookmap to give us deeper insight. If profile traders, let's see, Joe, do not have mean reversion on this upper distribution. Again, only which is roughly 5M ATR. All right, well, here's that scenario we just covered. But now, I again, though, like I just don't like it. This liquidity did not get out of the way, and I do not see support on the bid. It's up to you, Joe. I mean, I don't know what time frame you're trading, but you know, if you're looking for your mean reversion, you know, I mean, basically from the data that I see in here, it would be the middle of this range or kind of near the bottom of the range in here. This is your high volume node, or if you want to see it break and come back down into this node here. And if it's not enough for you, then it's not enough for you. That's the way that you trade. You know, it totally makes sense. It's some pretty strong volume here. On the buy side. Yeah, I hear you, Joe. I mean, like, you know, just, you know, it seems like maybe a waste of time to trade this small stuff in here and just wait for something better. I'm just trying to cover all time frames and all markets so that, you know, it is fractal. You know, this could be like, let's say, a weekly range in here or a daily range in here. You know, this would be several days of data. You would be looking for basically the same things. You know, another thing too that we haven't covered for a little bit, but on these kinds of range bound days in here like this, looking at the correlations can be a real big help. So you could you know, look at well, is the Nasdaq, the Russell, the YM all doing this, or like what do the bonds look like? What is you know, the euro dollar or the dollar index look like? In fact, we have a tool called Market Pulse, which I think you guys will like quite a bit. Show it. Okay, we have our stops and icebergs down here that we've been covering, looking for those stop runs. But the Market Pulse, really interesting tool here. We've just developed it just recently. But you know, it can give some great insight, especially for correlated markets in here. All right. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay. Yeah, so here we can look at price change and volume, well, volume pressure imbalance and volume pressure for the ES. Let's just look at the same. We won't even look at correlated markets. We'll just look at maybe these three. Okay, and then we'll look for some insight here. Okay, because what we're looking for now here is to hear these little widgets in here. This one's price change. Okay, this is volume pressure and balance, and this is volume pressure. So we're looking for volume pressure. We're looking for buyers to come in here and dominate. And I don't really see them doing that at all. It's pretty muted in here. Okay, if they come in, then we should start to hear it right up here, and then we can get our move into 50 that we're looking for. It looks pretty good here. It looks pretty good. We're getting a little bit of support in the book here, but they are on the offer at lower levels here. So it's not the great setup here that we're looking for, or that kind of insight in the order flow here. So the opposite scenario would be the failure of this breakout here. And what would that look like? Well, we'd look for sellers down here, or lack of buying up here. Now you can see that the volume pressure imbalance, we're starting to get buyers, starting to hear it. You'll hear this, guys. You'll hear it over on YouTube. You won't hear it in Discord. Let's see if we can get it here. And it's pretty muted right now. Okay, let's add. Here we go. There's a little bit of volume. Now see the sellers come in. You can hear the sellers come in. Okay, now sellers are gonna try to drive it away from here as fast as they can, and try to get back down to, well, basically back down to the mean here, around 44.5. And now if they can't, they're going to be the fuel for the move up into 50. Oh, thanks, Joe. I really appreciate it. Love what I'm doing. If a scalper, yeah, I mean scalping, or like I said, I don't think it has to be scalping. If you zoom out here and you're looking at higher time frame, you'd be looking at the same things. You're just going to have to widen out stops, and your risk management is going to have to be different. I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be different. It just needs to be wider. That's all. Right, and that's why I go over the lower time frames for the most part, so we can go through many instances. And again, I want to try to simplify and clarify this. We're just looking for the behavior here of the players to tell us. Okay, so now see these sellers here, like we went through that scenario. They're going to be shaking in their boots in here. If we can get our buyers in here, we should get a nice stop run to the upside here. So I would look for this here. And again, it's not a trade recommendation, but I'm looking for these guys to get stopped out, and I'm looking for a move up into our 50, maybe 51. And I'm looking for a quick move, in fact. I want to see them get stopped out. I want to hear this like really big buying coming in here. And I also want to see the for our stop run here. We look at the iceberg buying in here. Pretty good. Okay, there's our bid. Now, what's the reaction to our 47 here? Okay, there's still some on the offer at 48.5, but starting to find some buyers here. Still looking for this squeeze here to the upside. Okay, we got some support. Just got to get our buyers here. And let's get our squeeze. That 48.5 is the one that's kind of, they're not, the buyers just aren't tangling with that 48.5 yet. They need to. Okay, buyers, let's see it. Here we can add, you know what we can add in here is Apple or Tesla, and look for these stock correlations for this to unfold. I mean, it's just one of these funny days here. Like, we should be hearing a lot of volume. We're hearing something, but it's the price change algo. This is not, that's not a real good sign, actually. You know, we want to hear, now the volume's starting to pick up a bit. See, we want to hear volume, not price change on little volume in here. Okay, we got a mild stop run here. Nothing great. And this can really help here with your momentum moves. And right now it is helping us with momentum moves. It's telling us like that it's not so strong momentum. Right? The white line, if the volume can cross the white line in here or these white lines in here, that's when we can you know, we can hear the momentum or see the momentum come in. And that's what we look for on this move here. Right? If we can start to see that unfold, we're looking for that continuation here. And we're just not getting it. Let me jump back to Discord if you guys have any questions. No. Okay, now we're getting it. Let's see it, buyers. Let's see if you can move this now. Now, notice this is high of the day, right? So for it to accept, and see the tapered edge in here for your volume profile guys, this means that it's not really accepting up here. And for it to accept, and this is why we'll see, like you'll get these kind of low volume nodes like this and tapered edges like this, but then you'll see a lot of buying come in here and lift it, and then it'll go into a new range up here and then kind of define itself up there, right? And that's how you get those kind of, you know, trending days. You get I mean, today you see double distribution like this, we're looking for, you know, the buying to try to lift it here, not exhaust out. In fact, what we're looking for is the primary scenario for the day was just the move up into here, you know, the swing up here, and then that was it. Then we'd see after that. There we go. There's our move. Okay, and our stop run, I'm still looking for a bit more here out of this move. Actually, see 51 pulled their liquidity. This guy at 50 traded, or these guys. So still looking for a little bit higher here. 51, 51.5. Okay, so we're above our our line here, our price change, but our imbalance, volume pressure imbalance is not showing us much. Okay, so now how much do we believe in this move now? It did what we're looking for, but this is all we're looking for. Is it going to establish up in a new range up in here? It doesn't look too good right now. Okay, now watch this. Watch, we look for exhaustion, sellers here. Now sellers should trade it right back down to 49, maybe 47 and a half. Okay, because we're not finding quite enough buyers for it to accept higher. So we look for this, look for the sellers to move it back down into the range here, back to areas where it transacted previously. Okay, so for your bigger range bound move or your mean reversion move, that would be a nice move back down to about 44 and a half. Okay, so let's see. Now, we just didn't. We're watching and listening to the whole thing here, and we just didn't get quite what we were looking for as a really strong move. Little pockets here were not bad. Now watch for the opposite move. Okay, and today's a good day to look for that. Okay, so there's our there's no exhaustion there. Now they're trading up here. Okay, still looking though for maybe 49 3/4. There we go. And let's see them hit it here. Let's see them pull it away quickly back down to, we can look at a smaller node, maybe back down into 40, 47 and a half, 47. Just looking for traders to see if we get sellers that'll move it back down there. We had our stop run. We have some liquidity getting filled here and here. $520 contracts traded at 49. Alois. I don't see that. Okay, still squeezing higher here, but we're listening to it too here with Market Pulse, not hearing it. So now this is going to be the trap volume up here. Okay, and we can look for our mean reversion trade at this point. Okay, that's what you were answering earlier. Thanks, Luis. Liquidity close together mean that algos are present in market makers. Well, market making algos are a bit different animal completely. That they're constantly like in pretty close 2 or 3 ticks range, 3 to 5 ticks maybe. And their job is to make the market, provide liquidity, and they're very, very efficient and effective. And we're looking for something beyond that, basically. And we're looking for a little bit longer term liquidity in here and the condition of that auction. So trading up into it here, then we look for, did they get filled in here? Some of them are market making algos, but there's just, you can see this is a little bit longer term liquidity, right? So now we're looking for our mean reversion here back down to 48 and 47 and a half, 47 maybe. Anyway, just want to let's we'll wrap it up here. I just first off, please hit the like button if you like this. We'll go over more tomorrow. Get your questions together for tomorrow. The one important element though in here, our subject here to mention is that this is just, we're covering order flow in here. We're reading the behavior in here. I'm not trying to present a trading strategy. I'm not trying to present something like, oh, the market's going to do this, the market's going to do that. It's about understanding this in here and presenting ideas about like how this might unfold due to the behavior, right? So now we can look at patterns and trends, whatever it might be in here. It is the same ideas, right? Like if you're looking at a double top or like a trend line or range, whatever, there's going to be volume and liquidity within those areas, and that's what can give us more insight here. So previously, due to this exhaustion on the buy side up in here and sellers coming in, we're looking for a move back down into 47. Okay, all it did, all that price action did was it traded, and it did trade down to this volume dot here. So Layla, this is kind of like your volume dot on your crypto, right? So on Bitcoin, it traded down to here, and this is where the buyers moved that market higher. Now that wasn't quite a stop run, and it bounced off of there. Right, so it is, so far it has accepted above this area in here. So this is now, if that presents an idea to go back and study. Okay, so take a look at that idea here. This is where they came in. This is where they moved the market here, right? And it went into a range. Now, how do you know that? Like, here's we're looking actually for the move back down lower, well, we didn't get anything in the order book to tell us here. It just traded back down to here, and we got buyers. We didn't get sellers in here. Okay, so, and look at that behavior down here. See the buying. Here's the selling. Here's the buying coming in. Here's the buying coming in. And here's the continuation now. Yeah, so now take some of these concepts and ideas here and go back and back test it. Try to have like at least 20 instances of this that you've studied. Take a picture of it, screenshot, and get an understanding of it. Okay, the variations of it, what it looks like in here. So like right now, that same idea in here. Well, where are the buyers in here? The majority of them, I would say it's down here. There's some here too. So maybe we get a pullback just to 55.50 here. I'm sorry, 50 and a half. Or maybe we get lower here. It comes all the way back down and retraces to where these buyers came in down here at 49 3/4. Okay, Jack, you're looking for a move up above 50 here. Yeah, maybe. I mean, this is on our daily here. Here's our move. We were just looking for the the move up to here, and boy, did it take its time. Now the next area here is up, yeah, about 55. And if we can get an auction up there, maybe we can even come back up into the wick up here. From Friday's close, or on Friday, the large wick. Yeah, thanks, Layla. All right, well, thanks everybody. I've gone over my time limit. We'll be back tomorrow though, and if you have anything specific, happy to go through it and answer it for you. Hit the like button, please. That really helps get things going here so we can go over more. Do you have a DEX feed or DX feed? Is that what it is? Yeah, you can look at the ES. You won't be able to get the MBO data, but that's fine. For getting up and running in Bookmap. The MBO data will gives you a real bonus here of being able to see stops and icebergs if you have the MBO bundle of indicators that we were looking for. We were looking for that behavior like stop runs, right? Yeah, so now look at this. See, look at where the selling came in, or the buying, I'm sorry. And if we can get sellers here, and we're trending pretty nicely. But if we can get our sellers here, we can come back down into these areas. That's some pretty heavy selling already. Yeah, look at the offer here. Okay, we got 2 out of 3 now. Let's get a little more selling in here and look for the move right back down to 49 3/4. Maybe about 49. Let's just watch and wait here because it's looking pretty good. See how the offer here, they're even at a lower level below the swing here. So we're looking for that to dissuade buyers from going higher. And we're looking for sellers now to jump in and try to hit this liquidity down here. And I mean, there's some selling. There we go. There's a little bit more. No, that's not what we're looking for. Not buyers. For sellers here at 51. And not seeing it. Okay, so that trade idea is not ready yet for it. It's not setting up. Anyway, guys, yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. We will go through whatever it is you like more. How do you get MBO? You need to get rhythmic data. SK Gango. And then, yeah, they offer it. It comes with it. So then you'll need to get the MBO bundle, which is on the Bookmap marketplace. Okay. Yeah, thanks, everybody. We'll I'm just back from a week off. Well, it wasn't really a week off, but I'm just back. So getting back in the groove in the swing of things here. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Don't forget, actually, I will be there for Fausto's webinar. If you go to the Learning Center, I can show you where that is again. Okay, so free or live events, scroll down. Here it is here, Fausto, he's at 1. And then options with Doug, and then Algo Boys. All right. So Tom is off this week. He will be back on Monday. All right. So in fact, you can see here we've got a webinar all set up for him, so you guys know he's coming back on Monday right here. Yeah, here's Tom's. We have Crypto Lifer as well, a new trader. Well, we've been dealing with him and hosting webinars with him for a while now. However, he'll be streaming weekly now, okay, once a week. So great stuff in here. You know, we continue to expand. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. And we will catch up with you tomorrow, same time. Take care. Bye-bye.